Hey y'all, it's your girl Angie. Welcome back to Kiss My Cheeks TV. It's finally over. We have a new queen, RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars 5. Congratulations, Shay. Y'all know I was pulling for Shay all season. This season, All Stars 5 had so many girls that I love. So many. Shay, Juju, Alexis, Mariah, just so many girls that I was pulling for, but I always said I wanted to see it go to Shay. I'm happy she pulled it off. I was nervous because it seemed like it was a setup for Miss Cracker to take the crown, and I was like, no ma'am. If it's not Shay or Juju, I'm throwing the TV. Like, I wasn't really gonna throw my TV, but you know what I mean. But anyway, this was the finale. It was a 2-hour episode. A lot of it I didn't watch Untucked. A lot of it I hit fast forward. So I'm not going to review all the kumbaya moments, all the moments of, I feel like I deserve to win because of this. I feel like I deserve to win because of that. No, we're going to talk about the good stuff, see how Shay won this crown, and move on because I'm excited. I believe August 21st, they're going to do the Las Vegas review. Is that just a one-time show or is it a series? Like, is it going to be many episodes leading up to the show? I'm hoping it's a series of episodes because I follow, this is a little side note, I follow Asia on Instagram and I'm constantly looking at her stories of when they're on tour, when she's on tour with a lot of the queens, and it's hilarious. Like, Asia and her phone, she be getting them to cut up. I love it. I hope it's that and not just a one-time episode, but we shall see on August 21st. But let's jump into this episode. Surprise! All the queens are back. Everyone was hugging, loving each other. Congratulations, girl, all that. I was happy to see everybody. I'm surprised they didn't do a buyback, like, you know, at the top 5 when the other 5 come back and somebody gets put back in. Somebody in the comments made a good point. They were like, they probably didn't do it because 2 of the 5 quit. So what you need to come back for if you quit? I get it. But moving on. I'm guessing there's not going to be a reunion next week because they did a little mini reunion. Rue was like, do it amongst yourselves. Y'all reunite, go over the past amongst yourselves. It wasn't really that much drama for them to do a little 1-2 hour reunion anyway, so I'm happy they put it right there. First off, they asked, you know, India, how are you and Derek? You and Derek make up. And Derek was like, I ain't got nothing to say to India until she apologized. And the way India showed her ass, and I'm so happy Alexis got vindicated, and we'll get to that. I ain't mad at Derek. Yes, I ain't got nothing to say to you till you apologize. India apologized, and Derek was like, thank you for that. But I don't see no love amongst the two. I think Derek is going to be cordial to India from afar. Like, as long as you stay over there. They asked Angina why she quit, and she started talking about something. I ain't caring about Angina quitting. I was just more surprised Derek didn't have anything to say because I would be pissed if I was voted off first and the very next week another bitch quits. I'd be pissed. Now Mariah spoke up. She was like, I'm pissed at this bitch over here. Mayhem, how you gonna quit? If you was gonna quit, you could have quit the week I went home. And I understand Mayhem. Mariah wasn't really pissed, but she did, you know, call out her homegirl because they've already said Mayhem and Mariah are like best friends. But I agree with everything Mariah said. She was like, she was like, how you gonna give yourself up, quit for India because you felt like you and India did such a good job? She was like, you just met this hoe 2 weeks ago. So you gonna quit for her, but you don't want to quit for me, who you've known all this time. And I agree. I totally agree. I really don't feel like to me, Angina quit. She made a whole speech to everyone, vote for me out, whatever. Mayhem really didn't quit. She just voted for herself. Probably because at the end of the day, Mayhem was gonna go home anyway. I believe everyone voted for Mayhem anyway. So whatever. Moving on from that. Finally, Alexis brings up the whole thing with the campaigning with India. And I was so happy that Alexis was vindicated in this moment, and they kind of proved, because India was just sticking to her story like, I promise I ain't lie to you, girl. Why you lying? Be honest, 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 like all the H's. I I definitely, like, in the future, India will be someone who I just can't trust. Like, I wouldn't believe anything she said the way she got on this TV and lied on Alexis. Or really, she misrepresented the situation to Shay because she knew Shay already felt some kind of way towards Alexis. On Twitter, they had a whole interview where India said this stuff clearing up Alexis's name before on Twitter, and I never really reviewed it because the interview was way too long. It was a long thing to read. But pretty much in the same interview, she said Alexis never campaigned. What Alexis did is she did ask India, you know, who did you vote for? Did you vote for Shay? This is after the vote. And I agree with Alexis. You can't campaign for somebody after the vote. If I'm going to campaign, it's going to be before the vote, and I'm going to ask you to vote for Shay. So I think, and she was like, and then Mayhem got brought into it, and she was like, she said Mayhem and Alexis were campaigning for Shay to go home, and Mayhem was like, I didn't ask you anything. And India gonna be like, well, you were sitting next to Alexis when she asked me. Bitch, really? She was sitting there. If I was Alexis, I would be more pissed. Because what India did was stir up a lot of shit, which ultimately got Alexis sent home the week after India. Because to me, that week, Alexis didn't do that bad to go home, but she was no longer trusted. None of the girls trusted Alexis, and they would have rather kept around Blair because Blair, one, was easier to beat. Sorry, Blair. But two, they trusted Blair more than they trusted Alexis. I would have been a lot more pissed at India for that bullshit that she did. Mayhem brought up the whole, I didn't even really call it an alliance. All Mayhem did when she didn't vote for India that week and she voted for Shay is because week one, Mayhem said, if you save me this time, if I'm ever in the position to return the favor, I won't vote for you. That's why she voted for Shay. She didn't want to vote for India. All the girls were gagged. Like, you had an alliance? You guys made a deal? And I'm like, people make these deals all the time. This is not the first time somebody said this on this format of the show. So I was over that. I think Mayhem kind of saw that Alexis was full of shit. She was like, I didn't vote. I voted for Shay instead of you, and you gonna throw me under the bus like this. And I think a lot of people are seeing India for who she is. Anyway, Shay apologized to Alexis, which I appreciated. She was like, look, that information was brought to me the wrong way. I apologize for, you know, whatever to you. And then Shay kind of brought up, and if anybody was campaigning for me to go home, it ain't work. Like, Shay, nobody was campaigning for you to go home. I wish people would have dragged India more because India stirred up a lot of shit that was a lie. She stirred it all up to save her own ass. And ultimately what she did, because they showed scenes of Alexis really helping India, ultimately what she did was ruin friendships and ruin trust amongst queens that you may want to work with outside of this show, and they may not trust you. They may not believe anything you have to say going forward. I wouldn't. But moving on. Let's get to the challenge. It's the clapback challenge. I ain't gonna go through the rehearsal or any of that. Let's just get straight to it. Rue came out in yet another ugly ass dress. That was probably the worst. That dress was awfully ugly. The colors were not flattering on you, Rue. That bright bronzy orange mixed with a bright purple and whatever kind of fabric that was that caught all of the light. It was a no, ma'am. Your hair and makeup was beat. Your makeup is always beat. Raven never does a bad job on that. Let's get to the challenge. Off top, this challenge was set up for Shay. I'm not gonna say set up for Shay. One, Shay had the hardest routine. They said they gave Shay the hardest routine because she's a dancer and she wanted to be challenged. But to me, Shay had the best routine. Juju's routine, she barely did a two-step. And the little two-step she did, she was off. Cracker's routine was stupid. Like they said, oh, we want to put a little comedy in it. Okay, comedy, it wasn't funny. Like, and Michelle was like, yeah, you had a hard one. You had to do comedy and you did great. Whatever Cracker was up there doing in that 19s, 50s poodle skirt with people kicking their legs, like all of that, it wasn't funny. It wasn't entertaining. Shay was the only one who was up there entertaining me, performing down. That neon colored wig was everything. Something was wrong with Juju's tuck area. Like, you can see some kind of undergarment in that area, and it was completely distracting to me because the whole time, instead of watching Juju perform badly, but instead of watching Juju perform, I'm looking at the TV like, what is that? And like I said, Cracker just looked a fool. I didn't like the 19s, 50s look, and I already said Shay and that neon hair was everything. So moving on. The runway is just an eleganza. Come in your best. And all the queens got to walk the final runway. And I said, cool. That gave me another chance to give me some yes ma'ams or some no ma'ams. So let's get right into it. Derek came out looking a hot ass fucking mess. Oh my God. Derek cannot still do his own makeup. He looked a fool. Derek, you do Britney. You have someone who paints you like Britney and you do it well. Obviously, you make a lot of money doing it. Go, Derek. But this drag race competition is not for you, because on drag race you have to know how to do your own makeup. You have to have your wigs set to go. You have to have looks outside of Britney Spears, and whenever you go outside of what you do best, you look a fool. That Elsa, it looked like someone's 2-year-old kicked and stomped the Elsa, and then your crown fell off. Your crown fell off. And I don't even think he was trying to go for Elsa. Let's get past Derek, because he was clearly the worst. Angina came out in a newspaper, like, bubble dress, and I thought it was really cute. She said it was a flashback to her season. I don't recall, but I thought Angina looks cute. My girl Mariah. Mariah came out in a blue, she called it a petal dress, where it looked like little petals of sequins, and it started off a baby blue going down into like a royal purplish blue. And Mariah looked amazing. That baby blue hair, it looked like a ponytail, but it was all swept to one side and the big curls, and the makeup was a little off. Like, I've seen Mariah's makeup better than last night's, but Mariah can't be touched. Like, Mariah just does the runway right. When it comes to walking that runway for RuPaul, Mariah does it right. Mayhem was just meh. She came out in a wrinkled looking oranges red pantsuit bubble thing with gold necklace, and meh, it was not an eleganza at all. Anyway, like, Mayhem's look on the first runway was better than this one. And you got to go home and work on your outfit, girl. But moving on. India came out in one of those ice skater dresses where it's all sheer and you just have appliques covering up your breast and your vagina and your ass and whatever. Seen it before. The feathers at the bottom. The bouncy, humongous, my size titties was way too much. It was too much for the dress. Those earrings were everything. Oh, I love the earrings. I said the hair was cute. I like that ice blonde with that dress. But the contour and the brown lipstick was a no, ma'am. It didn't go with the look. Alexis slayed it. Alexis came out and was like, and what? Alexis was wearing horizontal stripes in a gown. Horizontal stripes are already hard to pull off, period. But Alexis had on horizontal stripes gown. It was a gorgeous gown. Like, Alexis's gown looked better than yours. Like, a mess. Moving on from Rue, you go, Alexis. Now, Blair came and shut the runway down. Blair said, I might not have been in top 3, but bitch, you gonna wish I was in top 3 with this look. Blair looked better than the top 3. Like, Blair looked the best. She won. That, what she says, Swarovski crystal jumpsuit with like the hardness off of the crystals with the chiffon. It was like a jumpsuit dress. The boots. Her hair was in like a braided crown. And then her makeup, you can't touch Blair when it comes to makeup. Like, when it comes to the beats, the mug, Blair wins it hands down all the time. She got Mariah beaten. You know how I feel about Mariah's mug. You showed them that you should have been in the top 3, Blair. If only you was funny, you might have made it. Juju, I love Juju's look. I think she said she was like a Buddha goddess. It was all gold, jumpsuits, headpiece. Her makeup, of course, was amazing. It was the orange sash for me, and it was just one piece of fabric. But that one piece of orange, it was like a pleated sash that came over the front and the back of that jumpsuit. Set it all off. And the nails. I don't know what Juju had on her nails. They were like extra long gold spikes. Yes, ma'am, Juju. You look good. Miss Cracker came out and she had to explain it. A Russian inspired dress. Something with her heritage. When I first saw it, I said, that's ugly. What the hell you got on? But since it was a part of her heritage and it was just something I'm not familiar with, it can pass. It grew on me. At least her wig was combed out this time. At least that. Shay came out the same in a dress. Like, after Shay had on that red dress, you should have saved that for the eleganza. You should have poured that pink to the comedy challenge and saved the red. Y'all know how I feel about the red dress. But this dress just was not cute to me. But once she explained that her drag was a love letter to black women, or ode to black women, and she was inspired by her mom's prom dress from so many, I guess, the 60s. And they flashed back and showed a picture of her mom in that prom dress with the same hairstyle, with the same bow. It touched me. I was like, oh, I still don't like the dress. Like, I just didn't like the dress. It was way too oversized. And that's just me. Fashion is in the eye of the beholder. And I didn't like the bubblegum pink color. Like, I didn't like it on Cracker. I didn't like it on Shay. That red dress would have set it off to me. If you would have wore that, you would have just we wouldn't even have to lip sync. Put the crown on Shay in the red dress. But anyway, I'm not going to go through all the stuff the judges said. They pretty much said good stuff about everybody. Let's go over to the lip sync. They lip synced off of Make Me Feel by Janelle Monáe. Janelle Monáe. Tongue twister to me. Juju was out there in this gold blazer with all the fringe and a little diamond crystal bodysuit with the knee boots, the thigh boots. Juju looked good. Cracker was out there looking a mess in an emerald green bodysuit with the Madonna cone bra, and I'm like, I'm over these cone bras. And she had glitter in it because eventually she took some tassels off and glitter. It was very lackluster, the glitter moments. But Shay was out there in a royal blue column gown with a baby blue wig. Twitter, y'all good. It was the same style of wig that Sasha Velour had on when she took it off and had the rose petals under. If Shay would have had some baby blue rose petals under that wig, that would have been everything to me. That would have been everything. But I don't know if she meant to wear the same wig that Sasha had on. Maybe she didn't realize. I don't know. But Shay looked good. I said all that to say, when it came down to this lip sync, like, Shay didn't do a lot, but she did everything to win. Like, Cracker was just over there doing... Side note, every lip sync Cracker did this season, she won 2 of the 3. I felt like Cracker did not deserve to win. Cracker is not a lip syncer to me. Like, this whole season, every lip sync, rigor mortis. Cracker did not deserve to win any of those. So I was already like, when it came down to final lip sync, Cracker wasn't competition. Juju was doing old school drag lip syncing. She was performing her ass off. She did the floor. She did some spins. Juju was doing a good job. I ain't mad at what Juju did. But what Shay did was she performed that song like it was her own. Like she was Janelle. Like I can see Janelle Monáe doing all of those robotic type of flicks and ticks that Shay was doing. Shay was performing that song like she was Janelle. She wasn't trying to do the drag stunts, the drag flips. She did a little duck walk at the end. That was good. But like, Shay was performing that song, and I just was like, Shay wins. Shay wins. She did the least, but did the most. She was lip syncing that song. She was captivating and demanding your attention. Because you can even see Ru, that time when Juju got down on the floor, Ru was looking down, and then she just came back. You saw her eyes came back to Shay, because you just wanted to see, like, what is she doing? And it was everything. Shay won. She deserved to win. No one else deserved to. That ain't right. I ain't gonna say no one else deserved to win, but Shay deserved to win. She did a great job this season. And congratulations, girl. I hope, Ru, we can get through this. A lot of TV shows are coming back into production. I can't wait to see. What are we on, season 12? Some new girls. I don't know. I love Drag Race. I'm going to watch it till the wheels fall off. All right, y'all. Like, comment, share, all that good stuff. And I will see you all, I guess, on the 21st for this Vegas review. If by chance you like Big Brother, that's what's coming up next in a few weeks. I love Big Brother. I will be reviewing Big Brother. Go ahead and hit subscribe for that. But if not, I'll see you on the 21st. All right, y'all. Bye.